Pattaya City Expats Club is a non-profit social organisation and our speakers are volunteers. The club as such assumes no responsibility or liability for the professional reputation of or the quality of services provided by the speaker today.
One is going to give a talk with the ironic name of The Joys of Driving in Thailand. Yeah, you do drive differently. You have to learn. You know, I don't want to steal any of Ron's thunder, but in Australia, if I was on a freeway, I might have a talking book on, but not here. It's like I need every brain cell and, you know, to... Anyway, I'm not going to steal it. Ron Carty's given excellent talks here before. Really lucky to have him back. Come on and enlighten us about the joys of driving in Thailand.
Okay, look at this lot. They bloody brilliant. I should have brought my phone up and take a photo. All right, so anyway, so look, welcome. It's good to see a lot of people I know here, some I don't know. Just very quickly, my background, I've done a number of talks really focusing on one main area, which is how to live a long, healthy, successful life. All right, so I've done talks on... I've been banished already.
Amidst all the excitement of a Russian member for the first time, please switch your phones to off and vibrate, and don't surf the web during the talk, okay? Thanks, Ron.
Okay. What was I saying? Anyway, so I've done talks on positive thinking or the power of the mind. I've done talks on the importance of being healthy and fit, which is why we set this Ageless Warriors group up every Thursday morning. A lot of the people in this room join us on Jomtien Beach for beach tennis. And of course, I talk about finance because it's important to have money coming in, not just rely on savings. And then one day I'm flying around Pattaya and Jomtien on my bike, and I suddenly realised that I've been missing out on something, and that is the importance of driving safely, right? And so that's really why I came up with this talk. And it's good, I see a few people in the room that's already sat through this. So that either means they didn't read the notice that I was the speaker, and they've turned up, or they thought the talk was wonderful, or they didn't understand a bloody word of the first one and they want to see if it makes sense now. So that's really what it's all about, okay? Sadly, there's a few people nodding, all right? Okay, so anyway, the joy of talking Thai. So we're going to look at traffic rules, how to avoid accidents. I'm going to skip through a few things, but more importantly, how to stay alive, all right? And I'm going to run through three things, which is number one, why it's important to understand the rules and the importance of driving, how Thai driving is different, and then we're going to come up with some important points for those that I haven't driven yet and would like to drive, or even those that are already driving. So that's really what we're going to do. It's going to last for about 3 hours. Just checking that you're listening, okay? And for those who have listened to this talk before, if there's a joke, please still laugh. You didn't laugh the first time, but laugh this time, okay? So anyway, so look, first off, why is it important? Just have a look at the screen. Look at these numbers, okay? The deaths per 100,000 in Thailand is 32.7 as opposed to the global average of 18. This just clarifies how important it is to drive safely. I haven't finished yet. Look at this. Okay, Thailand was ranked number 9 out of 10, right, in road deaths, and most of these other countries are in Africa. All right, so this is how it's important. I'm going to skip through these slides relatively quickly, but look, the important thing is many foreigners are involved in driving here, and I mean, I know if I asked a question of the group, how many of us find it frustrating, annoying, maddening? The answer is going to be predominantly less until you understand that you are in Thailand, not in your own country. All right, and so that's really what we're going to be talking about. But look, this is just to give an example of where the accidents come from. 85% is on motorbikes. So for those that drive motorbikes, be careful, but you've got pickups, passenger vehicles. So, but really the whole spectrum are involved in accidents. And so let's have a look at how Thai driving is different. And we're going to have a look at something, the rules versus behaviour. Thailand's got driving rules, which most Thais ignore. Okay, they're just there. They're just there, okay? But you've got Thai behaviour. And for the Thais in the room, this is not me, it's the way it is, all right? And so there's something called the range of responsibility. And this governs everything in Thai driving. Now, for us internationals in the room, our range of responsibility is 360 degrees. We are responsible for looking in front of us. We use our mirrors, we turn around. So we're responsible for everything in a circle around us. That's our range of responsibility. However, if you look at the Thai range of responsibility, it's just what's in front of them. What's behind them or to the side is our problem, not theirs. All right? And this is why, and we've all been there, if we just compare the two, this is why when we're driving, this is what's frustrating. So if we have a look at things like this, we're driving and someone comes and cuts in front of us. And we may scream or hoot or whatever it is, but as far as they're concerned, it's our job to stop. Because now they've entered our range of responsibility and we're out of theirs. If we have a go, so the rules, it says they're adapting to each other rather than following rules. The role in Thailand is adapting to Thais. Forget the rules. You can read the rules, you can go and have your driving test. That's the rules. Doesn't help you when you hit the road. When I say hit the road, that could be hitting the road or hitting the road, all right? And so that's really where it is. So let's have a look. So look, this is where it is. And how many of us have experienced this where we're going along and somebody's cut round in front of us? And we scream or two, with a bit of luck we don't hit them, but every driver in the room here has experienced this, all right? This is the one that got me. This is the one that made me think. And what happened, I was driving along and all these things are happening to me and I suddenly started putting a little presentation together in mind, but this is the main one. How many of us are driving along in our bike or our car and someone comes in from the left straight out into the road? And we think, why? Why? It just doesn't make sense to us. But it makes sense to them because the moment they come out in front of us, it's our job not to hit them. And if we hit them, we're in trouble. It's not their fault, it's our fault. Okay? So just driving straight in the main road is, let me just keep going, okay, because I want to. So this is another one. Okay, so first off, we've got the range of responsibility. Understanding that we have to look all around of us. The Thais aren't interested in that. That's our job not to hit them. Okay? Secondly, we've got hindering traffic. How many of us get frustrated because someone, I nearly said some bugger, but in the last talk they told me not to use the word bugger, so I'm not going to use the word bugger anymore, okay? So someone pulls out and blocks everything. And we say, why? But have you noticed here, nobody gets angry. You go to Vietnam or India. How many of us have been to India? Right, the noise, the hooters, doesn't happen here. In fact, I'm going to talk about the hooter in a moment, right? But so hindering traffic is common. And it's our job to adapt, not to get angry. Look at all these photos. How many of us have seen all of this? We've all been there, all right? And so cutting corners is another one. For us, Frangs, or international drivers, that's what we do. We sit there, we wait patiently, in the hope that there will be a gap in the traffic, and then sometimes we may move forward, and we're not. Thais just go straight out. Now we know it, but we still get frustrated about it. And the more frustrated we get, the more angry we get, and the more trouble we can get in. So, okay, so cutting corners, okay? We've got another one here, okay? Look at this one. They just go backwards and forwards. We've all experienced this. And so I'm going to give some examples on how to cope with all of this. Okay, so cutting corners is another one. Then we've got this kreng jai, or whoever blocks goes first. For us, we're pretty, I can talk primarily about the English, the British, because we are very, very accommodating to everybody. That was not a joke, that was serious, but anyway. You know, and so we allow people to move forward and in there. In Thai, that doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. And for us to expect it, it's our fault. We are in Thailand. We are driving in Thai. We might be programmed by international rules. They drive under Thai rules. In fact, they don't drive under Thai rules. They drive under Thai behaviour, which is different, okay? So look at this, okay? Hang on a minute. Oh, this is another one. Flashing lights. Now, where I come from, flashing lights means you can go. I've stopped, a little flash, boop, boop, and is that right? Here, if you see flashing lights, get out of the way. It means I am on my way regardless, all right? And again, we've all been there, okay? And so never risk this flashing light bit. Actually, this talk is going to end in about 10 minutes, but it won't hurt, okay? But we'll have lots of questions, okay? Lack of signalling. That's another one that frustrates me. They don't signal. And so look at this. Somebody pulls out. If you're on the inside, they can just turn left and knock you off. I've seen this a few times. I think I mentioned in my last talk about 6 weeks ago. I'm trying to think where I was. But there was a farang. I'll use the word farang. It's easier, okay? Farang on the inside in his bike. Car here. Turns left. Knocks him flying. He was over 80 years old. I've stopped my car, got out, helped him up. He's shaking. The only good news is it was right outside a massage parlour. And there's a lady and a chair sitting there. So I picked him up, helped him over, and I left him in the massage parlour. So I think he's okay, all right? But, but this is what happens, all right? Turning left. Look at the next one. Pulling out and turning right. All right? And remember, and I'm going to keep reinforcing this, it's our job to stop. Because they have come into our range of responsibility. We're outside of theirs. So it's our fault if we hit them again. All right? What else we got? Okay, traffic lights. Now, what I like about it is I've got to put traffic lights up and everyone's right? But it's true. Okay? Don't jump traffic lights and don't race off on traffic lights. Let them do it. So look at this. Hang on, these are a couple of examples of, I don't know if we've got sound. Don't need sound. Look at this. We've all been there. All seen them. There's another one here underneath. Look, coming here. These are all the traffic lights. And again, how many of us, hand on heart, have maybe come up to a traffic light that's changed and we've jumped it? With a, whew, that was lucky. Okay, or pulled off a bit quick, and some buggers, I said the word, some other person has come that way. Okay, there's another one. Look at this. Look. Now you can go, I'm going to give you some examples. You can go on YouTube everywhere and see all of these accidents. They're everywhere. All right? And so the basic rule is when you're at a traffic light or approaching a traffic light, patience. Don't run the risk of jumping the lights, or don't run the risk of skidding off. Let somebody else do it. The number of times on Sukhumvit, and let's say you're turning into Teprasit Road and there's all the bikes there and they're all waiting and then they're off and there's another car coming. They say, oh no. How they ever manage it, I don't know. All right, so traffic lights, don't jump or don't race off. Now, some important points. Changing lanes. Changing lanes has no real meaning in Thailand. Okay? Oh, you can follow me. Wherever you are, you can follow me on the next talk, all right? But it's true. As far as they're concerned, the road is just one wide open. I remember many years ago driving out to, I forget where I was going. I was going out up country to the village over a holiday. And I don't know what holiday it was. And I made the mistake, this is before I understood Thai, I made the mistake of going out on the holiday. There was a two-way road, 2 lanes of traffic this way, 2 lanes of traffic that way, in normal days. This one had 5 lanes going that way. 5 lanes, and then a little squeak for somebody that wanted to come down. So changing lanes, you try and change lanes up in Bangkok, it's impossible. Okay, now another one, the 2-second rule. Right? Now, I was brought up to leave 2 seconds or a certain space between me and the vehicle in front. Is that right? I think we've all were. Don't do that. Don't do that. It will get filled up. You will never move for an hour, but everybody else will. Okay? So don't. Okay, so here we go. All right? Okay, so hang on. Proper shoulder checks as well. Again, I was taught to look behind. Be careful. You look behind, there's a split second where 15 bikes, 4 trucks, and a taxi are all in front of you. So just be careful. The rule is glance at the mirror. Don't dare look round because you'll be there for hours. Right? What I like about this is this is nothing new. Right? It's just reinforcing the fact that we are in Thailand, and if we want to have a long, healthy life and driving, these are the things we've got now. Sudden stops. Stop thinking that pedestrian crossings are for pedestrians to cross. It's true. It's funny, when I get guests come here, I tell them that a pedestrian crossing gives you a slightly better chance of making it to the other side. All right? And so, so stop thinking, because what happens, we see a yes?
They do it because they want to imitate the Beatles crossing.
That's it. Okay, they're following us, okay? And so, hang on, I've got something else here. Okay. So, stop for okay, so, because if we do a sudden stop for a pedestrian, we could be in danger. Now look at this. This is the results of a sudden stop. Where one person has stopped, you have a look at how many cars are in this jam. Look, I don't know why he stopped. It might have been because of a dog. It might have been because of a pedestrian crossing. He might have sneezed. But look how many cars. That highlights the importance of not doing sudden stops. Somebody else, I forget, it might be somebody in this room here. But at the end of my talk, they came up and told me that a few years ago, they were driving, and the two people on the bike did a sudden stop, and a lorry, I forget what it was, a lorry or something, ran over them and killed them because they stopped at a zebra crossing. But look at this. Unreal. So avoid sudden stops. What else we got? Okay, right of way. Now, this right of way came as a result of my last talk. Somebody thought that I was an expert in driving. Okay, so they came up to me and said, Ron, what are the rules? What is the right of way in driving? Well, I don't know. I haven't got a clue. And I said, I think this. But anyway, I had a little look. And the right of way is this. It goes on size. Okay, hang on. Right? Number one, the bigger you are, the more right of way you've got. Okay, so top is wheelers, bulldozers, trucks, pickup trucks. Look, bike or pedestrians right at the bottom. Or unless you have biggest gonads. All right, if you want to risk it, have a go. But other than that, right, let some other person go forward. Okay, so right of way. So that should answer I forget who asked me the question, all right? Okay. Now, reckless behaviour. All right, expecting others to stick to the rules is a total and utter waste of time. You will ruin your day, you will ruin your week, you will ruin your stay in Thailand. Okay, so it says there, okay, watch out as it occurs and adapt to the situation. However, we are not Thais. Thais have been brought up on bikes. The day after they are born, they're on a bike. You see them. Can't believe it. It's a baby. It's a baby. Okay? For Thais, it's second nature. The families go out on family holiday on the bike. Okay? School children. You see school children in Pattaya and Jomtien, 10, 11, 12 years old. Nobody stops them. And there's 4 of them on the bike. No helmets, no nothing. For Thais, it's natural, okay? It's a balancing act. Now, I don't know how many people in the room here have tried sitting on a bike side saddle. It's impossible. It's impossible. However, they just go up, clonk, and on their phone, diddly diddly dee, they balance. True or not? It's natural. It's natural. How many of us have seen trucks like this loaded up? I'm forever taking photos. I'm fascinated by it. This wouldn't happen in any other country other than India. Okay, so look, so it's a balancing act. So in summary, look at this. It's the way it is in Thailand. Okay, so when we say adapt, what we mean is this. Right? Adapt, but it's dangerous. And I see so many international people, Farangs, screaming around, thinking like they can drive like a Thai. They've got no helmets, they've got no this, they've got no that. I can't tell you how many accidents I've been involved in. I don't mean accidents, touch wood, very few. Oh! There's somebody that was in an accident calling me. I don't know, what was I saying before that? Okay, I'm a bit worried about this now. Another thing about living in Thailand, I get a bit superstitious. All right? But anyway, it's dangerous. You see so many, but I've been involved with so many accidents. One of the things I've always done, I don't know why, if there's an accident, I automatically stop and help out. I try not to here because if you run over and help somebody, the police think it's you. Or the other Thais think it's you. All right, so you just got to be careful on that one. But for us, it's dangerous. All right, so the rule should be this. Drive like a European, slowly, carefully, 360 degrees, but think like a Thai. All right, now, how that works, I'm not quite sure. Okay, because a lot of us in the room have Thai partners. And to say think like a Thai, you think, how, why, what? Cannot do. So anyway, now how am I doing on time? Oh, going very fast, good. Okay, so if you are undeterred about driving in Thailand, here are some important preparation points. So for those in the room that haven't got a Thai driving license, obviously you've got to get a driving license, but this is also a reminder for everybody in the room that drives. So this is what we do. Number one, invest in one of these appliances. Okay? They're everywhere. Garmin, Samsung, I've got one on my arm here. Okay? First thing, invest in one of these. Because what these do, they can check your heart rate, blood levels, and stress levels. Okay? Because driving in Thailand can be stressful. All right? And on a regular basis, I check mine. I was talking yesterday about my heart rate. My resting heart rate is 48, which isn't bad. When I'm driving, it's about 158. All right? So get one of these. Go and buy one. Okay? Secondly, get your eyes tested. I see so many Farangs having trouble reading their phone. How many of us know people like that? If you can't read your phone, you're not going to see some sneaky person coming out at 150 miles an hour whipping in front of you. You're never going to see it. You're going to say, what was that? So get your eyes tested. Okay? Invest in night vision goggles. All right? Because there's a lot of people don't have lights. And you say, who? What? That was lucky. All right? Or, as a last resort, get surgery. Because you need eyes in the back of your head when you're driving here. You can't just step in and go. Doesn't matter if you're going from here to the 7-Eleven or from here up to Chiang Mai. Okay? It doesn't matter. So that's number one. Number three, invest in one of these applications. Match, Play, Swipe, Battle Dots, Pin. Invest in one of these. You can download them on your phone, on your computer. Very good. Because what these do is this. They check your reflexes. That you should have laughed then. Okay? Because as we get older, we slow down. And you've got to act fast. And so the general rule of thumb is this. When you can catch a fly with chopsticks, you qualify to drive. Okay? Because it's too late. It's no good saying, I didn't see it. I tried. All right? Okay, where are we going? Okay, step 4, get a helmet and wear it, even in the car. But again, I see so many people not wearing a helmet. Or I see them with the helmet hanging from the bike, or on their head with no strap, undone. And it's important for 2 reasons. Number 1, for health. Again, He can come with me again. I've helped at least 3 Farangs lying on the road where they've either hit something or something's hit them, no helmet, with blood coming out. Managed to get one into an ambulance. He doesn't know where he is. He's saying, no, I'm okay. Now, if I hadn't have been there, the tyres, here I'm okay, would let him go. He didn't know what day it was. He didn't know where he was. All right? So for health, you need to wear a helmet every time. Doesn't matter how short the journey. But also for wealth. The police love seeing somebody with no helmet. And so it can be costly. And again, I remember standing on Beach Road outside the police station, and the police standing there. And I've even checked with the patio, the Farangs that work with the police, okay? And they go, tyres going past, no helmet, tyres going past, no helmet. Farang. They let the tyres go because they know the tyres don't have any money to pay the fine. But Farang, right? And so both for health and wealth, always wear your helmet, but primarily for health, okay? Next one. Using mirrors, right? You've got to use the mirrors. I've got a tricky one there. Look at that one. That's the ideal one in the mirror, all right? Using mirrors is necessary, but this is the example of why you need mirrors, right? You go to turn right, someone's creeping up the outside you've never seen, and bang, your fault again. All right, so using mirrors. What's another one? Somebody cutting up on the outside, turning left. Need to look, okay? Hang on. On the inside lane, I've already spoken about this today, but yeah, how many of us, when you first come here, I mean, in England, you can't drive on the inside, is that right? Well, you can, but you can't. The rule says you can't. See, rules and behaviour, 2 different things. And so one of the things we've always got to be careful of is when we're going, who is on the inside or approaching at 300 miles an hour? Okay, another one. Prep 6, Jai Yen. That means slow heart, cool heart, calm down, okay? Take it easy, chill out. Okay, so there's lots of things you can do in Thailand that you can get away with. But being loud and obnoxious is not one of them. So, number 1, when you're driving, keep your hands to yourself. Or you, right? Somebody does that in England, we just laugh or do it back and away we go. Here, your life could depend on it. And I'll give some examples. So keep your hands to yourself. Number 2, keep your mouth shut. Oi! Doesn't go down very well in Thailand. Okay, they don't like shouting. For us, it's almost automatic to do it. So hands to yourself, keep your mouth shut. Keep your hands off the hooter. Okay, and again, you rarely hear the hooter going. When you do, everybody looks round offended, is that right? So keep your hands off the hooter. It's like automatic to us. We don't mean any offence, we're just saying be careful. What they're saying is, you're challenging me, eh? Now you're in trouble, okay? So, this is why. Personal safety. Go on the internet and have a look at the video for this one. This is a 72-year-old Farang being poleaxed by a right-hand punch. Even though he's with the policeman. Got attacked. Check it on YouTube, there's a video that goes with it, it's scary. Here's another one, a nice polite Thai lady reaching inside the car window to plant a punch in someone's ear. There's another one underneath, another bike kicking the car. Here's another one, a Farang getting attacked by a group of people. This is why. Right? It's important to stay off the hooter, be as calm as you can, which is why you get one of these watches. Okay, now let's have a look. These are some of the things to look for. Hang on, let's see, this should work. Okay,
Thai social media users have been widely sharing details of a road incident near Bangkok's Suvarnabhumi airport. A dashcam captured an orange pickup truck in the far left lane being dangerously cut in front of by a white car in its attempts to pass another vehicle. The pickup truck then followed the white car, apparently seeking revenge. The two cars raced each other, and at one point the pickup truck deliberately sideswiped the smaller white vehicle, after which they apparently both continued their respective journeys. Fortunately, no serious accident occurred, but police, after checking CCTV...
Here's another one.
On July the 18th, a car fitted with a dash cam and traveling along a Bangkok street captured a black car attempting to cut in front illegally and forcibly. After cutting in, the offending driver stopped his car in the middle of the road, got out and took a machete from the trunk before approaching and threatening the driver of the dash cam car. The man attempted to open the car door but failed. The 64-year-old dash cam car driver filed a report with the police, saying she was...
Look at this one. Got a gun. Got a gun. And all the person has done is not just made a mistake, but been abusive to them. Look, this is a gun. We'll go up before. But look, again, go on the internet. Look at all these pictures of road rage videos, right? All in Thailand. This is the land of smiles. Until you toot, shout, or put your finger up to somebody. Then it changes, all right? And so road rage tips, I'm going to give some tips. So, when self-control fails, and it will do sometimes, so, when you've pressed the hooter in anger, frustration, or whatever, the immediate thing you do after is look behind you and shrug. What? So now they think it's someone else, not you. Works on motorbikes and cars, okay? I know because I do it, okay? Number two, when you're faced with an angry man, again, this happened to me the other day. See, I standing up here talking, it's easy to talk, but these things get you. And the other day, again, on Sukhumvit, someone's pulled out, and no. And he stopped there and I'm here. That's what made me think of this one. So when you're faced with an angry man, what to do? Sit still, smile, and nod a little bit. Don't move a muscle. Because the minute you fight back or argue back, you're going to get the man with the machete or the gun or the punch comes. So I just kept nodding. Keep nodding like an idiot. Right? And I was an idiot for tooting. I was an idiot. And then what you do, but keep a sneaky eye on the escape route. Because nodding doesn't always work. And then if the nodding doesn't work, do a runner. Run out the way as quick as you possible, but keep an eye in the mirror. Because they chase you. And now you know whether to dug here, dug out there. So there's some tips when self-control fails. Prep 7, put your phone away. Again, this is one I don't understand. We've all got phones, but I see so many people in the car, on bikes, with their phones, okay? And it says here, it says you're far more likely to get into an accident. You're far more likely to be found at fault if there's an accident and they find the phone in the car on the floor. Or you're more likely to cause an accident. This is Australian. So it's not just in Thailand, the phones are a problem. So stay off the phones, all right? Okay, how are we doing? Documentation. General rule of thumb is carry it with you all the time, or a copy, because you never know when you're going to need it. There are stops everywhere, okay? And it's not to check the rules, it's to check to see where there's some money there, all right? And it's funny, and you never know when you're going to get stopped. Again, the other day I'm driving on, there's a big block. They came out, he looked at me, he went, don't know why. So you never know whether you're going to get pulled over, stopped, and then if you don't have this, or sometimes if you've got your license, tax. If you don't have the tax, insurance. If you don't have insurance, what's your hat like? And there's a whole load of things, right? So anyway, documentation. This one, don't drink and drive. And I'm not talking about getting drunk. I think most sensible people understand getting drunk or getting legless is a no-no, whether you're on a bike or in a car or whatever. I'm talking about having 1 or 2 drinks. Okay? Now, look at the new legislation. There's new legislation just come out where they've increased the fines. 50 to 100,000 baht. First-time offenders. Now, I'm going to talk from personal experience now. If they can smell drink or think you've been drinking, you're potentially in trouble. Now, I haven't had a drink now for 25 years, something like that, for whatever reasons. Oh, thank you, bloody hell, right. Okay? And I remember earlier on in this year, it wasn't this year, it was last year, got pulled over coming down Patio North. Pulled over, license, this. Have you been drinking? No. You sure? No. Your eyes look like you've been drinking. My bloody eyes. I spent half an hour in a little hut at the corner of 2nd Road and there, waiting for a blood test, a thing. You just wouldn't believe me. Right, so be very, very careful. I've got friends that say, 1 or 2 drinks, it's okay. I can drive. The issue is not whether you can drive safely. The issue is whether you don't have an accident or someone stops you and they smell drink, now you're in trouble. So number 9 is that. And then number 10 is question your sanity. All right? And sanity means the state of having a healthy mind or not being mentally ill and having an unconscious desire for one's own death. Okay, so question your sanity if you want to drive here, okay? And at that, we're going to say, right, although don't forget the international rules, we have to adapt. So the rule is this: drive like a European and think like a Thai. Okay, so if you're wondering why Thai drivers drive recklessly, this is good. Perhaps maybe your life is more important to you than theirs is theirs. Okay, so at that, go safe, move safe, leave safe, and go home safe. Done. Done. Oh, questions, yes. Hang on.
Wait till I bring the microphone over.
That's my fault, not yours. Take your time. Get me into trouble. Now, bear in mind, I'm not an expert in driving.
Thank you. I understand everything you've said, but I think there's one word that you can use which will help everyone. It's drive defensively.
Very good. Next time I do that presentation, I'm going to copy that. Is that okay? Thank you very much. Excellent. 2 more over there. Now, no questions on rules. I don't know the rules. All right? Yes, mate.
Here's a situation. I had a black car, always signaled, always had the lights on, hit 3 times when stopped by motorbikes. Now, the first time was because a friend was 85. I don't usually take the car because it's a bigger problem in these narrow streets. And I would have just boogied out of there. But no, he got out of the car and while I was saying, I'll get my insurance and everything, and slowed me up. The second time I learned, and the third time, I didn't actually see them. I didn't even hear them because I hit my brakes because a truck started to pull out and then stopped. And of course you hit the brakes, you don't want to hit a truck. And they must have hit me a block and a half down. They're waving to the side of the car and, you hit me. What? So I stopped and I said, I get insurance. And while they're distracted, I drove off as fast as I could.
Attaboy.
And
as long as there's nobody hurt, attaboy. Well done.
Well, even if they're hurt, they weren't paying attention. Thanks for...
Okay.
Is it on? Yes.
Yeah.
Just a quick mention. There is no Good Samaritan protection in Thailand. So if you're being a Good Samaritan and something goes wrong, you'll be at fault. And especially with the Thai, the family, if the Thai person dies, the family will chase you for at least 1 million baht.
Yep, agree.
As a doctor, I've stopped at many sites, and the advice when I was a policeman, casual policeman, was that make sure what you're doing is, if you're going to do something like this, is recorded.
Yep.
Because the ties change circumstances, change the truth. Their reality becomes the most important reality to them because they're after $1 million. So be careful.
Agree. In fact, I think we've got somebody in the room here with an experience they shared. Who shared the experience? Was it? Yeah, okay. Microphone here.
I dropped my glass. I understand everything you said except one thing.
Yes.
Why in the world do they drive with no lights? I live out on the dark side, and many motorbikes. It's black out there. No lights. I mean,
because it's called the dark side.
Yeah, right. But is there any rationale behind that? Did they learn that in the village? Did they? I just don't understand the no lights thing. No, I think there's too many.
Okay.
Yeah, and just to confirm what the doctor said, it is dangerous if you want to help somebody who's been knocked over. I came across an accident, and the girl had gone underneath a lorry, and she was choking because her tongue had gone back.
Yeah.
And I went to help, and this woman dragged me back. She said, no, don't do that.
Yeah.
And then she explained that if something happens to that person and dies, you're the one that's going to have to pay.
Excellent. Nice.
Now that doesn't work when we're in Europe.
Yeah. No. Excellent. Well done. Here we go.
Yeah, I have a funny story. Once I got a speeding ticket, and it was a long journey, 600 kilometers.
Yeah.
And after 1 hour more, I got a new stopped for speeding. And my girl told me, but he got the speeding ticket up there. And the captain said, is that true? Then he doesn't need to pay this one. So, I mean, if you were speeding twice in my country, you would get the double.
Yeah. So that's a good phrase to remember in Thai. I've already been done.
Yeah. And I have a lot of experiences with dark motorcycles.
Yeah.
And it's a matter of 100 baht. That's the problem.
Yeah.
They don't have 100 baht, and if they have 100 baht, they prefer to go to 7-Eleven and bought some Snoop.
Yeah.
And that's all what it costs, and they think they see clearly forward. They don't understand what happened with cars driving twice their speed.
Agree.
And I tried 3 times to take groups to make driving licenses, 10 at a time. The last time was down in Bang Sare, and that was real bad. From 10 people, only 2 managed to get through the practical test. And the need was, you must make A, B, C, D, and you needed to have more than 40%. If you knew nothing and it was in Chinese, you would normally get 25% by just putting down something. So, and all these gave up. So it's a big percentage of the...
So they're lucky, their life expectancy has also gone up.
No, but there's so many people, I guess it's maybe 50-60% of the under 20 who's driving without license.
They don't have licenses, they don't have anything.
And they do the calculation, if they're caught, they pay 200 baht for one time I can drive home. And they're only caught every 3 months, so why should I make a driving license? Sorry.
One over there.
In Ireland, we never drink and drive. There's the danger of spilling it.
That's right. I lived in Ireland for a while. I agree there, 100%. Bloody good one.
I have one experience which you might find familiar, but after that I have to contradict you. I was driving down Beach Road a few years ago, just driving down, and a drunk motorcycle driver went and hit a songcow on the fence. He hit him bang on. His bike, his riderless bike, skidded off and hit my car on the side. When I stopped, I saw this guy on the floor. I saw the songcow there, and I picked up his head, tried to help. Like you said, I want to be a good Samaritan. I put his bike, and the songcow slowly started moving, and then went off. And then they grabbed me. Actually, because they took my license, they took the keys. There was a cop there, and there were witnesses who told him what actually happened. I told him what actually happened. I called my wife. She told him what actually happened. But he wasn't interested in what actually happened. What he wanted was somebody to tie down the insurance for the injured. So we sorted out about 2 months later, after a couple of visits to the police station. The cop didn't take anything. But I had to give that guy compensation for something for trying to help him, you know. That I know. But having said that, I'll tell you, by and large, my experience with Thai driving, especially with cars, the bikes are crazy. At midnight, they take off on the highway, and they race amongst themselves 20 at a time after midnight. And they drive at 160, whatever speed they can take them, and they whiz past your cars like that. So that I understand. But by and large, the car driving in Thailand, especially highway, is pretty good. In fact, I don't know whether you've driven in India, because I came from India. And when I came from India, I think I was the most dangerous driver on this road. Yeah. They were very good, the Thais, you know.
But not the hooter in India.
Oh, no, hooter is in fact, I had a driver who first blew the hooter before he started the car. He said, what are you doing? He said, just for practice, habit.
I need to chime in with a few sharings. I'll come up on stage with Ron. Firstly, you do need to use your hooter occasionally in Thailand. At least twice it saved me from somebody changing lanes into my lanes without looking or without a blinker. But you don't want to lean on it. You want to bip just briefly, and that wakes the driver up, and that saved me a couple of times. I will say that one thing Thai drivers are really good at is sharing the road. Now, why I say this, in Thailand, of course, there's slow motorbikes and there's three-wheelers, and they force you to go on the other side. Sometimes the three-wheelers, you have to go round them, right? You're going across double yellow lines. In Australia, the people on the other side of the road would froth. But here in Thailand, they go, yeah, you have to go around three-wheelers and stuff, and so, you know, you have to go on the wrong side of the road. Yeah, that's fine. So they are very good at sharing the road. The other thing to understand about Thai mentality is the primary religion of Thailand is not really Buddhism, it's luck. Thais believe that luck is controllable, right? They go in Tambun, they do all these things in the temple, etc., because they believe that making merit Tambun will actually bring them luck. And often they're driving out of that sense of luck, right? So, I could share various things like, this is ironic, right? I'm driving very slowly in Jomtien looking for a park. And I think, I can turn into this driveway. I get access to this, and I put my blinker on, and a motorbike on the inside, just between me and parked cars, comes and smashes my passenger side mirror. All the Thais who are watching expected the woman who was driving the motorbike to go, I'm so sorry, it's my fault, here's some money, and blah, blah, blah. Of course, she didn't do that, right? It was my fault because, wait for this is in Thailand, I didn't have my blinker on long enough. Right? This is the land of not using blinkers. It was amazing. And I said, are you hurt? Is your bike okay? I went and got the mirror repaired for 1,850 baht. Was it worth that to avoid the police? Blood oath it was, right? If you've got a choice and you can handle it without getting the police involved, you want to take that choice, right? So I think this was a wonderful and fun, considering the subject matter, I think it was a wonderful and fun talk from Ron. Thank you so much, mate. And of course, we don't exactly have a Thai driver's license for you. It's more of a driver's license than some Thais have. But thank you.
Okay, done. Very good. Very happy. Okay, thank you, mate.
Very good. Leave me the you can leave this, right? All right. So, yeah, thank you so much, Ron. I'm sure there's all many. The thing you need in Thailand is 360-degree awareness. And the other thing you need to be careful of in Thailand is the pickup trucks, right? They're involved in a disproportionate number of accidents. I call them bully boy cars because they're basically